Hey, hey, hey. Hey, hey, hey. Hey, hey, hey.
Everybody, what is going on? It is your boy Crypto Bobby. Hope you are having a great day, great night, wherever you are watching or listening in from. And welcome today to another episode of Crypto Happy Hour. And today, since today is Monday, and the past 2 Mondays we've done for the first time ever our crypto segments. Those have actually been recorded YouTube videos, podcasts. Wanted to come in and do a segments live. We have 2x your shitcoin of the week. We got a solid you think. We got the pump of the week, and we'll also touch on a number of topics, as well as asking or really responding to all your Q&A per usual as well. Shout out to everybody who is watching on YouTube right now, on Twitch as well. And as Philippe has mentioned, as everybody knows, the second I press stream, that is the time to smash that 100x short on BitMEX and make sure that you cover yourself, because the market's about to dump anytime I go live. So we'll get that out of the way. We'll get everything started. We'll get everything prefaced there that yes, indeed, the market will 100% drop off the face of the earth as soon as I do go live. So wanted to, if you guys aren't familiar with what the segments are on the channel, basically we'll have a number of different topics that we'll kick things off with. Like I said, we have the shitcoin of the week. If you guys would like to guess what the shitcoin of the week is, I would love to hear that. What's up, Michael Nicoletta from Jersey? Last name ends in a vowel. Know you're from Jersey. Shout out, same here. But yeah, so we'll get into the shitcoin of the week. Would love for you guys to guess which one that is. And then in addition to that, we're also going to go into the you think, as well as the pump of the week in addition to that. So from there, we'll kick things off, waiting for those guesses to come in here as I see some of those comments and questions rolling in here as well. God, what shout out to everybody tuning in from Periscope and Twitch there as well. But kicking things off with the shitcoin of the week. And like I said, we have two. This is a special week. Usually, although, I mean, it's crypto, it's not that hard to find two shitcoins. But we have two shitcoins of the week. The first one, we have our friends at Skycoin. So Skycoin had some ties to John McAfee, who has a penchant for whales. And that may or may not include having sexual relations with whales. Who knows? But Skycoin was so insulted by John McAfee's penchant for having sex with whales, for tracking whales down in the ocean and, kind of doing whatever he wants to do with said whales, that they severed ties with John McAfee. They said, hey, we're no longer associated with him. It's bad news and don't want any of that. Unfortunately, with all things considered here, if we pull up John McAfee, he's going to have close ties to Skycoin for quite some time. Why is that, you might ask? Well, he's got a dope Skycoin tattoo on his back that, I think will be around for quite some time, unless he's very interested in tattoo removal services. So if that is the case, and because they sever ties with John McAfee, we have Skycoin getting the numero uno shitcoin of the week. So got to start it off there. I think that is a fantastic place to start. You are severing ties with a guy who, either paid or unpaid, put a Skycoin logo on his back and then said, I'm no longer working or promoting them because whales and such. So We had to sever our relationship with McAfee after his irresponsible tweets about whale fucking. I mean, hey, that's a fantastic place to start. So we're there. So that's number one. Number two for shitcoin of the week, we have a company called Sponzi, I guess. It's sponsorships, but Masari, I think Financial Times, The Block, a bunch of crypto companies out there. Shout out Masari, shout out The Block. Posted about this and found it on eBay. But this is a company, if we head over to our trusty friend Google, this company right here is a company called Sponzi. They were decentralizing sponsorships. They actually have a pretty cute website. They also have a extensive, I'm not downloading that shit, get out of here, just host that on a PDF. But they had a very long white paper, just a whole plethora of crap. Large target addressable market. This is a massive problem. It's super centralized. We're going to decentralize it. Everybody takes a big commission and it's decentralized, but we're actually only going to take a small commission, even though we're somehow decentralized. Yada, yada, yada. So Spoonsy is also in the solid running for shitcoin of the week. And one of the reasons we can have here is they're selling the entire project currently for $60,000. Yes, you can buy all the project. You can buy the mobile app, the web app, the MVP, the unreleased tokens. You can buy all of that for the low price of $60,000 on everybody's favorite place to buy crypto projects, on eBay. So, yes, Spoonsy is a very well-deserved shitcoin of the week. I think really probably precedence over Skycoin for this, but Spoonsy is a wonderful, wonderful example of what happens when the ICO boom turns to dust. But the crazy part about Spoonsy too, the absolute crazy part about Spoonsy is that not only are they selling all this stuff, they tried to do a token sale and they failed for the token sale. But they didn't even sell a token according to Masari and according to The Block. They did not sell a token. You could, I think it was Decentraman on Twitter had a funny comment. And it's totally true. You could have literally put dog shit in an ICO in 2017, and you would have like sold at least like 5% of your tokens. You would have made, I don't know, 1,000 ETH, maybe 500 ETH, 100 ETH, who knows? But This is definitely the sign that, hey, maybe capitulation is near, because we are now selling dead ICO projects that had like, how many employees? They had a lot of employees. We'll pop it down here. Somehow they had employees. I don't know. Hear from experts. Meet the team. RIP in pieces. Sorry, guys. The advisors. Team experience. The roadshows apparently did not help with, they did not sell any tokens with these roadshows. So with that, I salute you. So in conclusion though if you really want to, if you are feeling very entrepreneurial today, you're very passionate about sponsorships, you want to get the ball rolling on this, you can absolutely go ahead and buy this for $60,000. There are 6 watchers, so competition is going to be fierce right now. Competition will be fierce. Shout out to 2017 when you could actually buy, when people are selling Binance accounts for like $60,000 or $60, but $60,000 we'll say. And in today's episode of segments, we have You Think as well. And some of you guys have been around for You Think, some of you guys haven't. It is the subject of discussion that is a news article, a tweet, whatever it might be. But it is the most obvious thing on planet Earth. We all know it's the case, but it is, yes, it's You Think. So with this, we need to kick it off. This is the most you think ever. It is absolutely 100% the most obvious thing in the world. And we're going to pop over to trust nodes to see that. Yes, indeed. Close to half of Justin Sun's new followers are revealed as fake. You think? Yeah, no shit. No shit. Yes, we are aware that Justin Sun is giving away money. He's giving away $20 million because he is very concerned that Vitalik Buterin had more Twitter followers than him in the past. And the good sign of an entrepreneur, successful entrepreneur, let me drop this on you real quick.
Knowledge.
I just need to drop as much
Knowledge.
as possible, and because of that, Justin Sun, has to get as many followers as possible, because if he doesn't have more followers than Vitalik, Tron can't become the decentralized media platform of the world, and then it's all going to be for naught. So because of that, obviously in today's case, close to half Justin Sun's new followers after he tweets about giving away $20 million, because that is the surest way to organic growth and organic following. You think? Bots are real. They are programs. Yep. Yeah, we know. And so, in addition to our friends at Skycoin, Spoonsy, and Justin Sun's Twitter account that may or may not be a bot-infested mess, who knows? Most likely, yes, obviously. We have what is, I would consider to be one of the more impressive pumps of not only the week, but really of the past month or so. And that's Ravencoin. Ravencoin is up 90% in the past 7 days. If we look at the damn chart, it's ridiculous. We call this organic growth, and 424% in 28 days in a month. That is damn near impressive, and an incredible amount of FOMO buying. Shout out to all the people that were early on that. It's one of the more impressive moves in the crypto space, at least obviously in the past month. And this is for a pretty large cap cryptocurrency as well. And I was trying to, when I was looking at this as the pump of the week, I was trying to look like, were there any fundamentals really behind this, or is this just a good old fashioned crypto pump? And as far as I could tell, there was nothing incredibly fundamental about this move at all, outside of what crypto Twitter's new favorite word is price discovery. This is price discovery. Price discovery. I don't know what price discovery is in comparison to Raven going up 400%, but folks, this is price discovery. I'm not saying this is bad, and shout out to everybody that absolutely crushed this, because there was a lot of folks on crypto Twitter that are banging this drum for a long time. I've made my Raven plays before. I was not in on this. I would be lying to you if I said I did not want any part of 400% gains, because that would be an absolute joke. But I was not a part of this bad boy at all. So, and yeah, Garrett had a good comment there. Engine had similar gains, but for a justified reason. Yeah, Engine was, I think, the pump of the week 2 weeks ago for the first time we did segments. So Engine was up there. And Raven pumped, or RVN pumped, Poly pumped. One of the interesting things, and going to the pump of the week that we want to talk about here, is that I would be doubtful that there's a lot of quote unquote new money coming into the cryptocurrency space right now, or crypto markets. And you're kind of just seeing this money just flow from pump to pump to pump. And granted, the money hasn't flown out of Raven yet. It's still gushing into Raven at this point in time. But when you're looking at other charts out there, you see these kind of short-term runs followed by that just following up and flowing into other cryptocurrencies. So Shitcoin flipping back and forth, as always. Or maybe not always. But going to that, so one of the things as well that has been pumping recently, and as always, guys, reading through as many of these comments as possible right now, but one of the things that has been pumping very hard recently has been the cryptocurrency exchange tokens, we might say. And this is from Ryan Radloff and Bamboo Club, I believe. I don't know. Bamboo Club blocked me. I don't know why. I don't think I've ever interacted with that person, but whoopsie daisies. But this is the Q1 performance of exchange tokens. So I'm assuming Gen 1 to now. And you have incredible growth in a number of these exchange tokens. You have BitMax, which is a transaction mining cryptocurrency, I believe. We can look at it a little bit further. But BitMax, you have Coinbene, you have Binance, which is obviously BNB, which I'm sure a lot of you guys know, ZB.com, Huobi, DragonX, KuCoin, Buybox, Digifinex, OKX. One of the things that's crazy about this is a lot of these exchanges are absolute crap. Like absolute just jokes of cryptocurrency exchanges that subside on probably 95 to 99% wash trading. Like just the most inorganic things you could possibly find. And I haven't done a full kind of due diligence into BitMax and the transaction mining schemes, but those typically make me very wary of what's going on there. Binance, in my opinion, on this list is the most. People can go after Binance all they want for sure, and say a number of things about, oh, Binance is sketchy, yada yada yada. But like if you look at the reasons why Binance pumped here, makes a lot more sense than why something like Coinbene would be pumping. And there was a big report on, I think it was Bitwise that they put out in comments to SEC. But Coinbene was one of the big, I wouldn't say proponents, but big offenders for fake volume. And as has ZB.com in the past. And we'll get into KuCoin as well, because KuCoin's pretty hilarious right now too. Before we hop into that, somebody asked Dan Murphy, what's going on, man? It's been a bit. Good to see you, buddy. Drinking a Stella here. Cold while it is so damn cold. I hope your beer's cold at least. I am drinking good old-fashioned H2O because I put on a little bit too much weight eating 75 buffalo chicken wraps a day. I'm trying to lose a few lbs and trying to not drink booze during the week, so Crypto Happy Hour is a sober hour for me right now. But if you're drinking anything, I would love to live vicariously through you. So if you're drinking anything good, please let me know in the comments because it'll make me feel better about myself, and I'll pretend like I'm actually enjoying the booze that you are enjoying as well. So as I'm looking at those comments and hearing the wonderful beer and alcohol that you guys are drinking that I'm not drinking because I'm halfway trying to be healthy, want to talk to about, so I've talked about this in the past, Binance Launchpad, as well as the Binance Launchpad is switching things up, and then there are a number of what I would call copycat exchanges right now trying to do the exact same thing Binance is doing with these IEOs or whatever we want to call them, basically ICOs. PBR is always a go-to. I'm a big Miller High Life guy, actually. When I'm drinking shitty beer, it's Miller High Life over PBR. Cannabis moonshine, sparkling water. Life's too short to drink cheap water. That a boy, Dale. That a boy. Going with some LaCroix, maybe some How's New York. Hot tea. Look at that guy. So Binance is obviously interesting for a number of respects, being the biggest crypto exchange. I think, in my personal opinion right now, whether you like Binance or not, they're the most powerful company, or one of the most powerful companies in the crypto space. And the token itself, whether or not you have any, it's up 180%. I don't know if that's against BNB. Against BTC or USD. Probably some, it's up significantly against both. But so Binance is changing the way that they're doing their token launches, which I'm actually not a super big fan of. But if we pop down to the block did a nice bit of analysis just on the token returns that have happened with these launches, and why I think it's important. Why I think it's important to look at. So I think that there are a lot of companies out there right now that are trying to copy what Binance is doing with the Binance Launchpad, and we'll look at KuCoin in a second here. But you had the BitTorrent ICO, or IEO, whatever you want to call it, that happened. That is up from its return once it was listed. It's up, I believe, after it was listed, it went up 330%. It is up 543% right now. And your BNB return is 150%. If you bought Fetch AI, the chart itself is crap right now. It went up 367% after it listed, but it's still up 140% if you bought into the ICO. And Seller is up 355%, which was the most recent IEO that happened on Binance. It's up 355%. The USD return is now about 304%, so it's down. It's down a bit from when it hit the market, but you're still up. If you got into the ICO, you've still made quite a bit of money. So I think that's very important for Binance with these token sales, because for right now, at least in my opinion, they're good for outside of BitTorrent, which I do think I'm not a fan of the project. I think it's a way for Justin Sun and for Tron to make a bunch of money, and it's a smart and ingenious way for them to do so. But outside of that, Fetch AI and Seller, I think, are kind of your standard types of projects that people are participating in the Launchpad for a quick pump, and then they're moving on. Now, there were a lot of people. I think there were 35,000 people that tried to get in on the Seller Launchpad, ICO, whatever you want to call it. 35,000 people, only 3,000 people got in. A lot of people are pissed off. If you looked at Binance's Twitter, CZ's Twitter, Seller's Twitter, it was like scammer, I want blah, blah, blah. Just people mad that they didn't get in, which is fine, because obviously if you didn't get in, you missed out on 350% gains. That sucks. That's a good amount of money. $1,500 times that. You know, that's a nice rent check or two, depending upon where you're living in the world. So if you look at how Binance is looking at things right now, they are they're looking to change their token sale to launch as a lottery, favoring large BNB holders. So perhaps I think that is smart in terms of token economics behind pumping the price of what BNB will do. But as far as actually like growing these projects, I don't think it's maybe the smartest thing. Not that, I mean, let's be real here. 99% of these projects and these tokens are still used solely for speculation, but I don't think that like, you know, having this as a way to earn these tokens is necessarily the best way to go about it. That's my initial thoughts. But with that said, I still think Binance is going to have the lead here. And if we look over, I think this is pretty funny. Shout out to Larry, everybody's favorite and or least favorite no coiner. But Larry at the block. So that this is hilarious. KuCoin, and I've said this before, KuCoin Spotlight is literally a copycat of Binance Launchpad. Zero excitement, nothing interesting, just a joke. But so KuCoin Spotlight, literally, they literally copied everything on Binance. If you look here, Launchpad is done word by word. So if you look here, token sale, this is on KuCoin. Token sale start, end time, hard cap, all the way down to seed sale vesting period. You look at this, seed sale vesting period, token sale start time, token sale end time, hard cap, token supply. That is the exact copy of Binance. And then if we have the second tweet, so this is for their token MTV Music Awards. I don't know. That's, who knows? Music videos, fantastic. But what's potentially even funnier is Ian Bellina, a well-respected investor and global titan ambassador Ninja Turtle for KuCoin, just happened to post in his Telegram group that Multivac, which is MTV coin, is the number one coin on his wait for the rebound, is the number one coin on his Oh, golly jeepers. That's the best. That is the best. But, hey, what are you going to do? That's pretty funny. But so I think a lot of these, I mean, just at a very high level, when we pull it back, I think Binance will continue to have success in these token sales, and people will still continue to try to get into them as much as possible, potentially pumping up the price of BNB as you continue to see returns like this. Granted, I would not personally. I have no interest in buying a Fetch AI or a seller once it's already listed. Like once it's listed, maybe there's a time and a place for it, but buying immediately after it's listed has only worked on BitTorrent, which has a much larger network effect, in my opinion, than a Fetch or a seller. But if you actually get an allocation of the token sale, it's still going to be profitable, and I think Binance will still kill it. But if we're looking at what happens with KuCoin's Spotlight, I'm not excited about that really whatsoever. Maybe that's just me wanting that to not do that well because it's literally a direct copy, but I think it's funny. So taking a look at some of the questions here, we'll start opening it up to more of the Q&A portion. I've gone through our segments. We got most of those out of the way. So we got most of those out of the way. And I think, moving over to a bunch of these questions, start taking those as much as possible. Freeman Young, do I think Polymath can be the ETH for security tokens? So Polymath utilizes Ethereum right now. I don't. I think Polymath might have its time and place, but I do think that there's other infrastructure that's being built out that might not involve a token. So I don't necessarily think Polymath is going to be the ETH for security tokens. That's my personal opinion. Hey Kevin, first time hitting the stream. What's up? Raymond. So for me right now too, I've taken, I've had some decently profitable trades in the past with a number of both. I snagged some NMR, which on the news that I talked about that in my last video, but I snagged NMR recently, made a slight trade on Cardano and a couple other ones. But I've taken a lot of those profits off the board right now as Bitcoin potentially pulls back here. I'd like to see Bitcoin rebound above 3,900. I don't love where we're at under 39 at this point, especially if we're just not a fan of how things are looking with Bitcoin. And for the most part, alts have actually held up pretty well right now. For the most part, altcoins have actually held up pretty well on a USD perspective and against Bitcoin, but makes me still feel a little bit weary that that Bitcoin is losing a little bit of steam, even if it's only down 2% or so. It's not like holy shit dumping, but I'm taking some profits off the table and seeing what happens and letting things play out until I see some level of a confirmation that we can get back above, at least for the short term, 3,900. But ideally, would like to see us back pushing 4,000 at this point in time. Andrew Rivers, have you gotten around to doing any betting on Augur? I actually haven't done any betting on Augur. One thing I was looking at, and so there's a couple different sites out there that are pretty cool now too. So I think Veil is one of them, and then which one? Veil's pretty cool as it allows you to the button, eh? So Veil is kind of cool because it provides a better front end for Augur. So this is something that I think is pretty interesting because Augur is kind of ugly. It's kind of hard to use. Veil makes it a little bit easier to do so. And this is one thing that I was literally thinking about when I was starting last week, starting my halfway healthy trend here was to I thought about maybe opening up an Augur market and saying if I don't lose 20 pounds in like 2 months, that you guys could bet against it. And I would put money that I would have to lose 20. I would put up money that I'd have to lose 20 pounds in 2 months. And anybody could take the opposite side of that bet and say I can continue being a fatty eating buffalo chicken. So that was one thing that I considered. Haven't done that yet. If anybody really wants to take the opposite side of that bet, I'll do that and figure out how to figure out all the appropriate steps in terms of the resolution at the end. But that was something I was thinking that would be kind of funny, but also weird. What's up? I am the McCloven. Nice fake ID, brother. I'm invested in Holochain token, and it will do what Airbnb did, but for cloud computing market direct competition with AWS. Do I have a Holochain bag? I do not have a Holochain bag. AWS is one of the most powerful. AWS is one of the most powerful cloud computing companies out there. Not only that, though, you have Microsoft Azure, you have Oracle, you have Google, you have DigitalOcean, you have a ton of different products and solutions out there. I do not know specifically how Holochain might compete against that. I used to work for Oracle back before I started working at AirSwap full time in crypto. So that is, but when I worked at Oracle, I didn't sell actually the database technology or the cloud technology that would compete against AWS or Holochain. I sold ERP software, so it was SaaS software, but my experience with that would be very, very limited. So as far as how Holochain might in any way, shape, or form compete against AWS, I have not a clue. I have less of a clue about the economics behind the token, whether or not it can accrue any value in the space. But at some point in time, I can definitely check it out. And one thing as well, so I'm looking at some questions here, but this is something that if you guys haven't checked this out, this is, I'm always a fan of different companies out there that are working and doing interesting things in the space that are kind of helping people get onboarded. And one of those companies right now is Lolli, Lolli. If you haven't signed up yet, you can go to cryptobobby.com/Lolli. And basically all Lolli is it allows you, if you've used Ebates, it's essentially Ebates with Bitcoin. So all these stores, and there's a bunch of them though, but these are the featured ones. But like if you are shopping at Bonobos or if you are going to Best Buy and you go and you utilize, they have a Chrome extension that when you buy utilizing the Chrome extension, you actually get money back paid to you in Bitcoin. So if you want to buy razors from Harry's or go somewhere on Hotwire or buy a hotel room on Hilton, you can shop there. You get 7% back in Bitcoin or 3.5% back in Bitcoin. If you utilize my link, it helps me out as well. So if you go to cryptobobby.com/Lolli, check that out. Give that bad boy a shot as I'm looking at some of these questions. If you guys haven't used it, it is a great way to earn a little bit extra Bitcoin at a lot of websites that you'd probably already be shopping at as well. For me, SeatGeek, when I buy Jets tickets in the future, because Sam Darnold and Le'Veon Bell, we're gonna go to the Super Bowl now. We're not, but okay. I still get to get 3.5% back paid in Bitcoin when I buy on SeatGeek. So hey, I think it's pretty cool. If you guys haven't checked it out, definitely do so. I'll just put that link in the comments if you guys want to give that a shot too. Again, that's my affiliate link, but it is, I talked to Alex, the founder there before. I'll probably have him on the channel in the near future as well. I think we're booking an interview in early April just to talk about some of the cool things that he's done. So that'll be coming later. No problem, Michael. Orange Steelers fan. Stefan, so I talked a little bit about Binance switching from a lottery from a lottery to a Launchpad. I don't love the move. I think it's likely good for the price of BNB, but I don't necessarily know why it would make sense from a token, like just as a distribution model for a token. It seems like it's probably not the best way to distribute a token that would actually get utilized outside of just a speculation. But as said before, the majority of use case right now for these tokens is pure speculation. Eunice, interview Craig Wright. So, no. I'll pass. That's an interesting question, Philippe. What do you think is the most important thing that can help crypto right now? Killer app, ETF, global financial disaster, etc. That's a great question. I would love to hear your thoughts as well in the comments. So if you guys are watching right now, definitely make sure to sound off on the comments to share what you think is the most necessary and important thing that can help crypto right now. My thoughts though are, first of all, like, what can help crypto? That's a pretty broad subject. Like, crypto itself is broad. Are we talking about Bitcoin? Are we talking about Ethereum? Are we talking about XRP, Ripple? Are we talking about JPM coin? There's crypto is large, but if we take that back and we look at, if we're looking at Bitcoin specifically, I do think that one of the most important things not necessarily one of the most important things, but Bitcoin continuing to prove longevity is important, and usefulness in countries and in places where they don't have better options than Bitcoin. And I think, as you look at Bitcoin as potentially a store of value or this digital gold, when you look at that, for somebody in the United States, the dollar right now, and I know, people talk about, the dollar is shit. The dollar is bad. This, that, and the other thing. For the year of 2018, the dollar is pretty good in comparison to Bitcoin. Granted, 2010 to 2017, if you took your dollars and put them in Bitcoin, you'd be a multimillionaire. But store value wise, 2018 was a rough one for that thesis, but it was also because of a speculative bubble in late 2017. But when I'm thinking about other countries where you might have 50, 100, 200, 300, 400% inflation, like crazy inflation numbers, places in South America, places in the Middle East that might be going through issues with both inflation as well as being able to store wealth in a place that isn't easily confiscatable. That's where I think Bitcoin right now has its biggest use case, and I'd like to see things continue to pick up in a positive direction for places like Venezuela, places like Iran, places like Argentina, and things like that. I think that's really important. Now, on the other end of the spectrum, you have something like Ethereum. In my mind, Ethereum isn't necessarily going through the same, maybe after the exact same market cap, or some of the other decent, DApp platforms or smart contract computing platforms. The big narrative right now around Ethereum now is the decentralized finance, or DeFi, and that also has different implications, different use cases there as well, that I do think might have some opportunities here for us to see greater adoption in the real world as more and more financial instruments might be developed on top of that. So So Garrett, good comment. I think the most important thing right now for crypto is easy and simple UI within dApps and integration and applications used by the masses like social media. We also see from McLovin, when crypto goes from a speculative asset to having actual use case and helps people, not just being a Ponzi. Somebody said inventing something viral, where you might need a small piece of crypto to put a video, I guess like the old ice bucket challenge or something like that, perhaps. But I don't think that I don't think that that is maybe 100% necessary. This is a great question here. 5:25 p.m. How is fake volume affecting Bitcoin price overall? Is it quick zero sum trading back and forth, or are they really moving the price? So if we go to, I'll hop over to Bitwise, this is a fantastic report. If you have not seen this yet, I highly recommend. I will include a link in it. So this is a report where Bitwise came out, and going back to the you think, this is kind of an you think segment. Yes, 95% of reported volume is fake, but there is lots of good news. So some of the good news, a lot of the fake volume is around listing fees. So to step back and to remove ourselves from this scenario when we're thinking about this, why are exchanges faking volume? Why is there fake volume on exchanges? Well, it's fairly simple. Volume begets volume, and volume begets exchange listing fees. If you have a bunch of volume, but it's all basically wash trading from your exchange, that still might bring legitimate traders to your exchange, and you might be able to bootstrap yourself to a point where people start to notice you organically through whether it's CoinMarketCap or other places, and then actually start to go to your exchange and use your exchange and start trading on your exchange. So number one, volume begets volume. You get trading fees from that, and then also if people start to see a bunch of volume on your exchange, you can go to crypto projects as a company, and whether or not that volume is real, you can go to a crypto project and say, hey, you know what? We want you to pay $100,000 or $500,000 or $1 million to list on our exchange because there's so much volume and we're going to be so valuable to you as a project or as a company. Now, that's not necessarily the real case here. And as we go to that, so this is interesting, and this is, again, somewhat we've thought to be the case, but only 10 exchanges have actual volume. Binance, Bitfinex, Kraken, Bitstamp, Coinbase, Bitflyer, Gemini, Itbit, Bittrex, and Poloniex. And there are a number of exchanges that have really just shitty volume. And some of the, so if we look at this, you can see this is a good comparison because it helps if you're looking at a volume chart, or if you're looking at a chart and you pull up the volume on an exchange, you can tell a little bit more easily whether or not this is real volume. So if you go here, you can see this is what volume histogram or trade size histograms for well-known exchanges look on a natural basis. You see, volume spikes. You see occasions where volume dips off heavily. On the other end of the spectrum, if we go to the next tweet, volume spike alignments. So if we look at really fake volume, you have Coinbene, Bitmart, Bit4x, Cymex. You can see here that many of these exchanges show pretty consistent patterns of flat behavior, where you can pretty in plain sight see that there is some type of wash trading going on just by looking at the volume charts, not even looking at the order book history here. And so as we continue to go down, one of the things that's helpful for you, and we can look to one of the ones that I was talking about or I saw today, I think it was Hotbit. Is anybody, I would love to hear too, this was something I just came across. I came across a token, no, Google, get out of here. I came across a token that was like only trading on Hotbit, so I never really checked out Hotbit before. I wanted to look at the site, so I'm trying to pull this up right now to see if we can get it. Take your time, Hotbit. So, okay, let's take a look at the 24-hour trade volume on BTC. So, Grin BTC is one of the heaviest pairs. This is not even the worst chart here, but look at the hours. Look at the hour. Look at the volume on this. Regardless of spikes, regardless of dips, the buy and sell volume, the volume stays the same. It's incredibly flat across the board. It is so blatantly indicative of fake trash volume. And granted, some of it might be like, a small amount of it might be real, but like, it's just so indicative of fake volume across the board. And this is Hotbit does. We are sorry about that, folks.
Bullish on Bobby's new mic. Apologies on that. Let me just make sure it sounds hopefully a little bit better here. But looking at where we are right now with Hotbit, it is so blatantly obvious that so many of the trade pairs are just not real. It's not real at all. Oh, Christ. Let me know one more time if this is still screwed up or not. Let me know. Am I being waterboarded, yes or no? Speaking of fake volume, yes, we have fake volume on the screen, we have fake volume on the charts. Not working. Okay, water and mic. Well, I gotta fix this at some point in time. It's been about an hour or so I will go ahead. I'm gonna order a new mic. If you guys can even hear me right now, I'm gonna go ahead and order. Oh, I already have a new mic. I just need to order a new mixer. So my apologies on this. My apologies on this right now. But I will go ahead and get it all fixed and be back tomorrow with another episode. Sorry about that, everybody. Really hope you guys have a good one. Crypto Bobby signing out.